Hello and welcome to Fashion Report Friday, the weekly video series trying to get you the most MGP possible from the Fashion Report minigame every Friday when judging begins for the minigame in the Gold Saucer. This is week 402, if you can believe that, and the theme is Omega Duelist. Individually, the clues give us pocket full of pansies for our helm, Omega ornamentation for our body, fresh and formal for our glove slot, and dueling duelist for our leg slot. In this video, we have a 100 score as well as a couple of easy 80 options. Alright, moving to the 100 score straight away then, of course, we have gone for the black Viola corsage. You should be able to go for any color Viola corsage, but obviously I haven't tested them all, so you know, the black one definitely works. I would imagine that the base colored ones will. Not sure about the rainbow one, but you know, the Viola corsage should work. This is something you can craft in the game with Alchemist, and it's not too difficult to craft, but obviously if you haven't got access to the market board, this is probably the only item that will work for the slot. For the chest piece then, we went for the Omega Jacket of Casting here. You can go for any Omega or Omicron version of any top from the Omega series. Obviously, you can go into that at level 70, right, which is within the free trial. So technically, if you could get a group together, you could go in and get one of these Omega chest pieces. It's not too difficult. And of course, if you are above level 70, you can unrestrict this and make it really easy for yourself and get some of the normal mode drops and exchange them at Ralga's Reach to be able to get the chest piece of your choice. It does appear that only Omega chess pieces or Omega related items will work for this slot. For our hands then, probably the easiest option for this week, the hempen short gloves. To get yourself some hempen short gloves then, which honestly might be the best item for the glove slot this week for Fashion Report, come over to the Sapphire Avenue Exchange in Uldar's Steps of Thal, and just if you turn left from there, you'll come up to Gwalta, or you can use any other low-level city-state armor vendor. If you go to the Disciple of Hand and Land Gear tab and click levels 1 to 9, you will find the hempen short gloves on here, which are available to every class, every job, every gender in the game, level 6 and above, and it will only cost you 116 gil, so that's definitely what I would go for personally. Aside from that, it's likely the hempen dress gloves and the woolen dress gloves and things like that will also work, but these are probably the cheapest at 116 gil. And then finally, we've got the Plague Bringer trousers. This basically can be the trousers of a Defiant or Daring Duelist, trousers of Red, Ghost, or Lost Thief, and of course the Plague Bringers and Plague Doctors trousers specifically. All of these legs actually drop in St. Mossian's Arboretum, a Heavenswood dungeon at level 60, or Pharos Sirius hard mode, which is also a level 60 dungeon. So free trial should be able to go and do this no problem as well. And that's the 100 score. Not too bad, of course, but we might be pushing things with obviously the corsage and the Omega top for people who are on free trial. So let's move on to something that they can guaranteed do. To do an easy 80, the best thing to do would probably be to go to Gwalta or any other low-level city-state armor vendor, like this one on the Sapphire Avenue Exchange. Go to tab Hand and Land, levels 1 to 9, and buy yourself the hempen short gloves for 116 gil. You can, of course, get the dyes from a dye merchant. I'm over at the Sapphire Avenue Exchange, and this time we're turning right, and you'll find Nanabay. There are other city-state dye merchants that will also work, but on Nanabay you will find the dyes you need. Firstly, we need grape purple, so if we scroll down a little bit, we will find grape purple for 216 gil, so we're going to get one of those. Then we're also going to go and get rose pink, which is also on this vendor. Just there for 40 gil a pot, get one of those. And we also need an ice blue, so that's also on this vendor, and for 40 gil, so get one of those. And if we combine those hempen short gloves with those dyes we just got, so the grape purple on any helm in the game, we've got rose pink on any chest in the game, the hempen short gloves equipped, and then any boots in the game with ice blue dye will get an 80 score, which is the maximum amount of MGP yield anyway. So it's a pretty good option, and all of the dyes are vendor purchased, and so are the gloves. I find very few problems with this one personally. I suppose another way you could do it is combining any 2 items from the 100 if you wish to, but I still think this is the better way of doing it. Anyway, hopefully that was helpful. Thank you so much for watching. Enjoy your weekend, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.